All right, all right. Hey, all right, y'all. I'm doing this live on the road. Y'all know how I do. This one's on the road. I had to, come back and do this one right now. I was gonna wait till my day off, but yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and address it and talk about it. Give you my full thoughts on what I think. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Make sure y'all can hear me up in here. Yeah, see, I got a few people already in here. That's good. So I can get started earlier. Yes, sir. Marcus Bell. What's going on, man? You can hear me, right? You can hear me good. I mean, you can hear me. You can hear me as good as I am on the go, because this is a live stream on the go. So you know how I do. Just let me know if you can hear me, if the audio is decent. Okay, cool. Hey, Roger, how you doing, man? What's going on, Roger? Make my way through some traffic here. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, I got a few of y'all in here already. Y'all know I want to talk about, man. I want to just talk a little bit about, well, a lot of bit. I want to talk about the situation with Rose Namajunas and her recent comments. I mean, I will say this. I will say this, man. Out of out of 2 minutes, Rose really said a lot. Rose really said a lot about herself in 2 minutes. Hang on, y'all. It's like crazy. I'm up in here, rush hour traffic trying to get through here. All right. Okay, Nicholas, what's going on? He said he can hear me from the UK. Oh, okay. But yeah, man. Like I said, I just want to come in here and talk a little bit about Rose Namajunas and her recent little clip where she kind of gave her thoughts on this fight coming up. And like I said, she said a lot in only 2 minutes. She said more than some fighters ever say, and she gave you a lot about her character, just off of what she said. And I want to know from y'all too as well. Like what I've been kind of thinking is Rose, is she overwhelmed right now? Is she go overboard or is she overwhelmed? That's the question. Is it a mixture of both? Is it really a mixture of both? Well, I know the one thing I can really say is that I'm not with it. I'm not really what the way she's trying to push this fight, straight up. Like I got another video coming out that I recorded, when it first came out. I gave my thoughts on it. I just ain't had time to put it out because I've been busy. But I will say this, man, like Rose, she's just kind of taking it to another level that she doesn't really need to take it there. I mean, Rose Namajunas, we all know as a fighter that has trouble getting mentally ready for a fight. That's the kind of reputation she's had in the past. And I just kind of feel like the way she's taking approach to this one here, she's kind of making it rough for herself. Because, MMA, this is an individual sport. You're the one going into the fight. So there's no need to go in there and try to put more pressure on you. You're not taking an army in there. So don't try to make this like a war. Don't try to put this out there like it's some type of war. You fighting for some type of you fighting some type of enemy, or you fighting for freedom or anything for real. Because when it all comes down to it, you just fighting for you. You know, you're not you're not you're not fighting for my freedom because yeah, we're in the same country, but we both have different issues going on here. I'm just being real. That's that's the first thing I want to get across. That's why when she tries to put it out there like she needs to translate this type of energy and say like Rose Namajunas, say Weili is the type of she's not she's not with what she represents, and that's why she has to go into this fight and beat her. I'm just kind of like you trying too hard. I'm just like you trying too hard, man. Because in the past she did address this. In the past, like she said, some of her fights she had something more so to fight for. She had a little bit more to fight for because there was some type of motivation there. Like when she was dealing with Joanna, there was kind of a rivalry there. Both fights there was a rivalry. There was some competitiveness with even going to Brazil to fight Jessica Andrade in the rematch. So when she kind of mentioned that, she kind of mentioned that separate. She was like, okay, I had reason for those fights. But this one, it seemed like she was kind of reaching, in my opinion. This one sounds like she was really reaching. Like she even hesitated before she brought up what Weili represents. It's kind of like she had to take a deep breath and she was kind of thinking to herself, should I say it? Then she was like, F it, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, you know? And whenever she said it, it was just kind of like, okay, the time, she said, okay, Weili, hold on, my audio's just 1 second here. 1 second. Just 1 second. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Like I was saying, Joanna, she had some she had a little bit of rivalry with her, so that gave her motivation to go in there and fight because Joanna kind of represented being a bully. So this time around, Weili's more of a quiet fighter. She kind of just does her thing. She just wants to go in there and fight. All you see of Weili is mostly training and just doing her interviews, doing what a fighter's supposed to do, right? But that doesn't really give Rose some type of fuel to fight her. See, I was going into this fight thinking that, Rose and Weili, they're just going to be respectful, just go in there as two martial artists and just have it out as have it out as a competitive fight. It was just going to be competition. But now Rose wants to go in there and she wants to turn this into a big thing. Like she said, she's going in there to fight because, she wants to battle against what Weili represents. And to me, I'm like, what does Weili really represent? Weili just represents to me a fighter that's just going in there doing what she's doing. She's just on the other side of she's just on the other side, and she wants the same thing Rose wants, just in a different fashion. That's how I see it. So when I hear her kind of bring that up and just try to make it seem like Weili's an enemy, that's kind of like a low blow in my opinion. I just kind of feel like that was a low blow, like she's really trying to reach. I mean, what do y'all think? I just think that's just a reach. It's almost like a mental reach for her to try to say, I really need to find the killer instinct in me to have a reason to kill this, go after this girl and go in for the kill because she really does possess like the tools to beat me. You know what I mean? Like in the past, somebody like Joanna drove her, drove her to that edge. Cause I don't know if y'all saw on the Joe Rogan podcast, she mentioned how like Joanna said like this little sneak diss at her about sending her to heaven. She basically said sending her to heaven. So it kind of gave stuff like that kind of gave Rose fuel. This time she doesn't really have that type of fuel, so she's just trying to reach, in my opinion. And now she goes as deep as, saying that she wants to bring in the Lithuanian struggle. She went all the way back to that history of Lithuanian struggle, the battle against communism. And now she's saying that, she wants to uh battle Weili because that's what she represents. I mean, deep down, do we really know that's what Weili represents? We really don't know what Weili represents. All I know is that she's a fighter. I just know that she's a fighter that just wants to go in there and do her thing the same as she does. You don't hear Weili saying, I'm gonna, beat this American. I'm, trying to burn the American flag or, put us down. She's fighting for Dana White, who is an American, right? So all in all, for her to just kind of go into this whole thing and just say, I'd rather be dead than red. I think you're really trying to reach and trying to turn this into a war just to get America on your side. And now's really not the time. Just there's just so much going on right now where you really don't need to be trying to put this type of pressure on yourself. And you really don't need to be you really don't need to be trying to put this type of target on Weili. With this whole propaganda going on with stop Asian hate, you're gonna make it hard for Weili when she comes here. You know what I mean? I mean, in a way, it might have been better if the fight took place in China or Singapore, like originally, right? Because then maybe Rose wouldn't have taken this type of approach. But now that she's taking this type of approach, it's kind of got a lot of people fueled up. It's probably got all of Rose's hardcore followers, on her side now. So, and then you got to factor in, we're talking about Jacksonville, Florida, a full house. We're talking about a full house in Jacksonville, Florida. How is somebody like Weili and her team is supposed to take this? Are they going to feel intimidated? Like, are they keeping this from her so she doesn't know? The ones that do know on her team, do they feel like some type of way now when they get the, when they get to the arena and they do the big walkout? Like, how are they supposed to feel? What if they feel like they're gonna get attacked? So I just think that Rose, her overall approach to this fight is out of her element. She's just taking this completely out of her element. It just seems like she's overwhelmed. I don't know. What do y'all think? Let me check the chat here real quick before I keep going on it. Yeah, let's go. Roger said we'll see. Roger, almost that time. Let me go up here. All right, hold on. I'm just checking the chat. He said, well, it's not dangerous times for a Rose fan, really. It's more of a dangerous time for Rose because I'm a fan of Rose. I'm a fan of her fighting. I'm not a fan of her personally because I don't know her personally, but it's a dangerous time for her because you putting the target on your back. It's a dangerous time for Weili because you putting the target on her back. So it ain't a dangerous time for us because I mean we gonna live. I'm gonna live. I'm gonna still continue to do what I do. I'm just addressing how I feel about how these fighters go into the ring or the octagon, you know, um, trying to build up a false narrative for a person. I think that's just childish. That's just really childish. I mean, you got enough going on today. You don't need to try to dig up some old history and then inaccurate history on top of that. Wasn't it the Soviet Union that invaded Lithuania, if I remember correctly? So why are you going to try to put you know how people do? They're going to try to lump all the Chinese together and say, okay, they're responsible for the Lithuanian struggle. So it's not really a dangerous time for us. It's more so a dangerous time for them, and that's what I'm saying. Is you shouldn't really put uh that type of narrative out there. Hold on. What about Chicken said it's a reach. Whaley never speaks about politics, so for Rose to bring it up, it's trying hard to make Whaley a villain. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you just kind of villainizing yourself. You're trying to make her the villain, but it kind of makes you the villain in this situation right now. And when you put out that slogan, that's all that hardcore patriots need to hear. That's all they need to hear is better dead than red, and then they're gonna ride for her. Oh, TJ talking about that. Talking about that. I remember that. Yeah. How do you think the fans will react if they see Whaley Rose be cool with each other in person and shaking hands? Um, how will they react? I mean, they'll probably think they'll probably lean more towards Whaley being a good sportsmanship. Being a good sportsmanship at this point. Just saying, oh, she's just letting it slide. But like I said, maybe she didn't even maybe Whaley didn't even hear about it. You know what I mean? Like maybe she didn't even get the full story on it. So if she meets her and she shakes her hand, hey, she wasn't even that like she didn't go off on Joanna. All she told Joanna to do was to shut up. She didn't even shove her back or try to reach out and put hands on her. She just let Joanna continue to say what she said. And then when she got tired, she just said shut up. So I don't even think Whaley will do that. So yeah, I could see Whaley shaking her hand, but I think the fans will react more in a positive way towards her. You know, yeah, that could have been a reason why. That could have been a reason why, man. They probably just didn't want to fight. She probably just didn't want to fight over there in China. Rose basically alienated Whaley from some of the U.S. audience because of this politically charged nonsense. Yeah, 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 yeah. I was just reading some of these comments here. Hold on. This is probably why the fight took so long. Hold on. Yeah, she's trying to, but I don't really think it does. Cause like I said, for me, I'm a fan of the sport, whether it's boxing or MMA. I'm just a fan of the sport. So whenever somebody just represents hard work and trying to build their life up, I don't care what country they're from. I really don't care what country they're from. Of course, I do ride for mine. I do ride for mine definitely. I definitely want to see mine make it. But if there's a person that comes from either China or Australia, wherever, I don't care. As long as they represent the sport, and that's how I felt about that's how I feel about Wei Lee right now. Wei Lee seems to be getting a lot of hate from a lot of people. There's a lot of other fighters that kind of talk salty on her, you know, for whatever reason, and I think this just kind of adds to the fire now, where it kind of puts a lot of people on the fence. But I think Wei Lee's not going to really lose too many fans here because she's not falling into it. She's not really going to fall into it. She's just representing what she does. And there's really nothing communist about her. I mean, she's seems like a cool person. She's working hard. You don't really hear Whaley ever say anything out of line or anything crazy. Even like when they tried to twist the Mike Tyson thing. I mean, y'all remember the Mike Tyson thing. I talked about it over here. Whenever she talked about the Mike Tyson situation, she addressed that in a respectful manner. She still says she respected Mike Tyson. So she's not really feeding into any of that. So if they come at her with this thing, she'll probably just say, okay, I'll just translate how I probably feel in the octagon come fight night. And that's the thing I wanted to say about Rose, man. Like, why can't Rose just do like some of these other fighters? Like, if there's a way that you translate yourself to fight, if there's some type of energy that pumps you up to fight, just keep it to yourself. Just keep it to yourself. We don't need to hear it. I'm sure there's a lot of crazy ways that fighters get themselves hype or get themselves in the right mental state or the killer instinct state for them to get in there and fight. Ken Norton, the boxer, he used to do hypnosis. He used to do hypnosis to get himself prepared to fight. If Rose feels like, oh, she's at war right now, like she's a little soldier or something, keep that to herself then. She feels like she's taking on the enemy and she's trying to fight for the good, like she's some type of Captain America, then just keep that to yourself. We don't need to hear it. So there's always, there's so many ways that fighters that transition their energy, they just keep it to themselves. That's what it comes down to. Because I mean, yeah, we can't change how she feels. I mean, there's probably a lot of people that I don't agree with how they feel, and what they stand for, but I enjoy their fights, and that's the way they should keep it. Not everybody's going to agree in this world. So, and I just didn't really like that. She kind of made it seem like, hey, Wei Lee is responsible for the struggle of my people. So, you know, I'm taking that type of energy and I'm taking it out on her. It was like after reading up on it, she was like, "Oh man, I gotta go to war now. I gotta beat Wei Lee. I gotta beat her for everybody. I'm doing this for my people. I'm doing this for freedom and the American dream." You know what I mean? And I think that first of all, when you say the American dream, I mean, like, what really is that? That's why I said earlier, like, what you say you represent for the Americans and the American dream, we two totally different people. I deal with I have to deal with different things than you, Rose. You know what I mean? So what you call the American dream ain't really the same. And Wei Lee, she probably she probably wants to be part of the American dream. Don't try to make her the enemy. She's probably wanting to be part of the American dream. And then you talk about fighting for freedom. I mean, the history you bringing up, I mean, it's still relevant. I'm not trying to say her struggle, Lithuanian struggle, isn't relevant or how reflects her life today, but you got problems going on right now. I addressed this in other people's chat. I brought it up because nobody else really brought it up, but I'm just saying, like, if Rose really wanted to stand for freedom, you would attack problems right here in your backyard, like the George Floyd situation, the racial injustice. Shoot, we just had another young man get killed, another brother get killed, Dante Wright. What, yesterday, day before? I'm still reading into that, but yeah, another police shooting. So don't try to make it sound like all of well is good on this side. Don't try to make it sound like you're perfect. Like this is the light side and that's the dark side. I mean, we all got problems and that's what we all fighting for. When it all comes down to it, you know, we all have issues. Whether you believe in communism and those ideologies, you know, we have problems over here, Democrats and Republicans. So don't try to make it sound like your grass is greener over here when people are pissing on your lawn. Let me put it that way. You try to act like your lawn is green and good. Shoot, somebody in your backyard pissing on it right now. Let me put it that way. So yeah, really, like I said, I just wanted to come on here and talk about it a little bit with y'all and kind of give you my thoughts. Uh, it takes away from the sport. It takes away from a fighter like that whenever you respect him as a fighter. Like I said, I don't know him personally. I don't like him personally. I just respect their work. I respect the dedication and the hard work from any fighter and the beauty of the science they bring. And if they can't draw the line between their personal life and they want to draw that personal life into their, into octagon, and it's something negative like it is, then I'm not really with that. I got to take away a lot of points from a person like that. Whenever you try to make somebody else out to be an enemy when they're trying to do their job. Because when it comes down to it, come on, this is why I like the sport. This is why I like mixed martial arts and I like boxing. It's a sport about individuality, man. It's about individuality. You going in there fighting for you. You can say you fighting for these people, but when you get knocked out or you get crippled and your behind gets put out on stretcher, who you think you think those other people that you said you fighting for are really going to care? They're going to just continue to go on and do their life. They're going to just continue to do what they do. That's why I don't really like to say, oh, I got the pressure of the work. I got the pressure. I'm fighting for all these other people. But whenever you get knocked out and you get crippled, do you really think a lot of people are calling you? Shoot. Boxer Sergio Martinez said he used to get a lot of calls when he was champion, but as soon as he got knocked out, he only got 4 calls, and they were from his mom. What does that tell you? 4 calls, and they were from his mom. So where were all those people that were riding with him before that? See, Rose getting all these people amped up to get behind her and all these flag wavers and everybody to get behind you. Well, where they're going to be whenever you get knocked out? You can become a meme. You're just going to become a straight up meme to them. They're going to go on IG and put you can become a highlight reel. That's all. You're just going to become another highlight reel. Excuse me. Up here coughing. Yeah. Yeah, so I just feel like keep keep certain things to yourself. Keep that type of energy to yourself because not everybody is going to agree with what you say or what you believe. There might be somewhat of an audience out there, but you know what type of platform you're on. You know what type of platform you're on. You got to meet this thing in the middle. And again, this is an individual sport. This is an individual sport. So you need to worry about you the same way Weili's worried about herself. And I will say this too, you know, when a fighter like Weili, when a fighter like Weili can go in there and just continue to fight, knowing that she has a lot going on in her country, and there's a lot going on towards her people now, but she still continues to just do what she does and keeps it positive, keeps it about the fight. That just shows you a lot about her character. She's not trying to bring in some type of war. You talk. Look, I will say this too before I go to. You want to talk about the Lithuanian blood and the way you make it sound is you make it almost sound like your blood is a little bit more precious. I mean, hey, you could say we trying to make it sound deep, but I mean, yeah, you brought up some deep stuff. You brought up some deep stuff in only 2 minutes. I mean, God didn't make Lithuanians' blood more precious than the Chinese or black people or white people. Everybody's blood is the same. So when you try to make it sound, oh, I'm carrying the Lithuanian blood and Christ consciousness, you make it want to seem like you higher up, but your blood is the same. Your blood can wind up on that octagon the same way hers can. Your blood's gonna pour out If you lose all your blood, you'll pass out and die. So don't make it sound like your blood is above any other human. Just go in there and say, look, I got the confidence. I'm gonna do this. I got the skill, and I'm gonna win. Because that's what it's all gonna come down to. That's what we all really want to talk about, just the skill in this fight. All right, let me go back to y'all comments real quick. Cool Dr. Money said we love combat sports because it's person to person versus person. That's it. Exactly. That's why I watch it. Because nobody else is going into the boxing ring, nobody else is going into the octagon. It's just those two people. From whatever country they're from, it's just them. It ain't a whole country behind them in there. I mean, there's a country of people that are behind them, but they're not the ones getting in there fighting. They're the ones that keep bugging that person, but they're not the ones training day in, day out. They're not the ones training, doing weight cuts, sparring day after day. That's Weili. That's Rose. TJ said Rose doesn't consider what she said disrespectful by any means. Oh, I know that. Yeah, for real. I mean, you can apologize, but I mean, you really meant it. I always hear people apologize, for the N word, but if you said it, you pretty much meant it, right? You just want to cut back on 50% of the backlash instead of full on 100%. So I'd rather she didn't apologize. I mean, I already know where you stand because I know that the apology is not genuine. An apology is just to save sponsors and so on. All right, I'm back to riding here, y'all. So I'm on the go. I had to stop for a second and do something, but yeah, I'm back on the go. Uh, Stamina said Rose would have to be a whole unseen level of stupid to actually double down and try to make this something in person at a presser face off. Weili will be cordial. She always is. Yeah, and that's all I ask, man. Like I said, I don't know what you do behind closed doors, but if you represent the sport right, you cordial like you said, and you're not talking trash and you're not being a book. Well, sometimes trash talk is all right, if it comes into play, right? But as long as you're not being a bully and cocky, that's all right. What else y'all talking about here? Sir. All right. TJ said Whaley's focused on the fight. I'm focused on Roger, Coach, Evelyn, Barrios paying me. Damn. Man, I ain't even messing with that, man. I told you I ain't betting, bro. Um, what would you do? What would you do if round one start off close? Whaley had a slight more output, then threw a body kick, rose, parried it, and dropped Whaley with the right hand counter, but Whaley popped back up. But if she popped back up, then I know that Rose got a hell of a fight ahead of her. You know, and I'm not giving y'all my breakdown and prediction yet, but you're gonna have to be hell of an accurate. You're gonna have to be hell of an accurate puncher on Whaley's movement. See, Joanna gave Rose plenty of space and time. That's why she landed so clean on Joanna. She was able to land clean on Joanna because she had plenty of range, she had plenty of space, she gave her plenty of time. Whenever Whaley was fainting and moving her head a little bit, Rose was stepping in at them awkward angles, throwing that jab out, setting that right hand up to that left hook setup. But Whaley's rhythm is kind of off. Like Whaley's rhythm is kind of off, and it's a little bit sloppy and offbeat. It's awkward, but it works. So it's gonna be hard to see Rose just set up like a perfect right hand on Whaley because Weili's going to be on the outside throwing leg kicks, and she's going to be bouncing in at awkward angles. It's a different texture. Yeah. At this point, I don't think she should apologize, man. I I don't think she should apologize, really. Yeah, like Weili's style is awkward, man. Yeah, Weili's style is very awkward because it's hard to get down as far as should I box her, should I outstrike her, or should I take her to the ground? You can't really do either one for a whole fight because she's so strong. Weili is strong as hell. Like you try to take her into the clinch, you try to take her down, and boom, she's on top of you, grinding you with that forearm and that elbow to the face till you bleed. Y'all saw that, right? You see how that's like one of her main weapons when she gets on top of you. She's got that elbow in your face, and she's strong as hell. Like most fighters, when they go to the ground, their ground game kind of sucks because their physical strength isn't the same as when they're standing. But Weili, she's just as strong as she is on the ground as she is standing. You know. Matter of fact, Me, one of my subscribers wanted me to do a video talking about who the ground game favors. I would say the ground game, could possibly favor Rose more so because she's what, the brown belt? Rose is brown belt, right? And I think Weili's what, a purple? But it's gonna all come down to like the physical strength too, like how they get to the ground, and how they react. I think that's what it'll come down to. Okay. So like I said, I just wanted to give y'all my thoughts on the whole comments too. But I mean, y'all want to talk about a little bit about the fight, and we can do that now. Talk about the fight a little bit here. Um, well, let's talk about the mental. Let's talk about the mental state here. So, so TJ, DJC, Stamina, like, do you think her comments were? Do you think Rose's comments were made because she was overwhelmed? Do you think she was just like? Do you think she's feeling overwhelmed? Like, I bit off more than I can chew, and I got to find a reason to get. I got to find a reason to really get this strap back. Do you think she's just digging? What is it? I know she went overboard. Overboard. Y'all think she went overboard and then she overwhelmed? I mean, what y'all think? I gotta ask y'all. Do y'all think is she just overwhelmed right now? I mean, she shouldn't be too overwhelmed. I mean, the fight's taking place here in the U.S. I mean, then again, now that you're in the U.S., you're putting a lot on your back because now everybody in America is going. Everybody in America knows you're on American soil, and 15,000 people in the house. Ooh, see, that's why I said, man, maybe if the fight took place in China and Singapore, that would have been a better thing. No crowd in China and Singapore. It would have just been the two fighters, no pressure, was the way it needed to be right now in this situation. B. Kendra said Rose just cringe right now. Yeah, yeah. Like I don't, like I said, even going back to what she said as far as just she kind of started off with a little sneak diss too. You know how she do sometimes. She kind of threw that little sneak diss out that uh everybody else gave her reason for animosity or whatever, and now she's kind of going into this fight. She was like, I don't hate Weili or anything, but but I feel like there's a lot on my plate here because of what she represents. And I mean, just the way she said what she represents, it made her sound like Weili's not representing any type of good. You really try to make it sound like the belt's in bad hands right now, like she represents some type of evil, like some type of negativity towards Americans. When she has a lot of American fans. Like I said, I'm not a fan of like a lot of these fighters personally, but I'm a fan of their hard work and their dedication. And Weili's has been catching up with a lot of these fighters. That's why it's not like, it's never really like a hype thing with me. Like, oh, I'm just jumping on the hype train. No, I'm a fan of a lot of these fighters that put in a lot, the hard work, and it shows, and they're not scared to call out names. Like, I know a lot of people get mad when Weili calls out Valentina, but at least we know where she's coming from. You got a lot of flyweights now that don't want to fight Valentina. They won't call her name out. Why is it taking a strawweight like Weili to call that fight out? You know, you gotta go for the goal, man. Like, it's always a process, but at least she's in the mix. She wants to be in that mix soon. Yeah, I'm still driving, so I don't. Hold on, I'm not reading all the hypotheticals. I wasn't able to see all the hypotheticals y'all talking about. Hold on here. Cool Doctor Money. I think Weili will have some trouble closing distance while staying off the center line. But after a few exchanges, I feel Rose runs out of ideas. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Rose is a great artist from the outside. Rose is a great artist when it comes to her boxing and her striking. She can stay on the outside. That's why I made a video about this. I said if she stays on the outside for 5 rounds, then that's a perfect fight. But does she have the focus to stay on the outside for 5 rounds? And I don't think she does. You know, um, she had trouble for 3 rounds with Carolina, Tisha Torres, um, even Joanna in the rematch. Joanna was able to eventually chop her leg down and get in close and do a little bit of damage to that lead leg. So um, you have to fight a near perfect fight to get what you want out of Weili. Like, Joanna, she could have fought a perfect fight if she just stayed on the outside, but she went in there and kept exchanging with her. She went into too many violent exchanges. What if Rose executes a spinning wheel kick at 7 seconds in the first round? Weili gets caught and continue, huh? You talk. V. Kendra said, "What happened to Rose standing up to bullies?" Um, that's something I was talking about earlier, V. Kendra. It's like and this is why I was saying when I first saw the video, it was kind of reaction. My first reaction was, you're trying to make Weili a bully. Like, you're trying to make her a bully to get that same type of energy she had the first time around. When you beat Joanna, you said the belt didn't mean anything. You wanted to be like a champion that could represent the people. Um, Joanna was all up in her face. Joanna came in cocky. Joanna came in arrogant. Joanna came in with the fist in her face. So that was a lot of fuel for her to, uh, you know, eat off of. She could really eat off of that type of energy. But this time, Weili's not bringing any of that. Weili's not really bringing any of that. So it's like, okay, let's go into history books here. Let's go into history books and pull out something where we can use against Weili, and y'all can love me again. I mean, that's what it kind of felt like to me. No bully this time, so you had to make somebody a bully. I like the Rose that does a flying armbar. Oh man, that was like the Invicta. That was Invicta Rose, man. that Rose been gone for a minute. That Rose has been gone for a minute. Yeah. Hold on. Let's see what we got. What you got? I don't think Rose's ground game is that good. She doesn't really get takedowns, and lately she only boxes. I think her ground game is good. I think, let's put it this way: when she's on the ground, it's good. But as far as the takedowns, right there, I gotta. That's a little. That's a little separation to me. Like, getting the takedowns is different. It's like Jillian Robertson. Like, Jillian Robertson is good on the ground, but her ability to get takedowns on a higher level is low. Like, Jillian Robertson is good when she's on the ground. She's very good and dangerous on the ground, but she has trouble getting these takedowns whenever she goes in with a higher level of fighter. You know, I think the same could kind of be said for Rose. Like Rose is good on the ground, but she can't get Joanna to the ground because she's so physically strong, and Joanna will tear her up with knees in the clinch. Uh, when she got Carolina to the ground, it favored her more. When she got Tisha Torres to the ground, it favored her more. You know, so her ground game I think is good, but it's the takedowns. I know you're gonna say that's a part of that, but it's a minor part of it. Because if Weili takes her down, I think Rose may have success. She could counter the takedown. Okay, y'all talk about Mr. Lee overboard. Yeah, hit the like button. Thanks, Mr. Lee. Yeah, hit the like button so my notifications come up. It came up pretty fast this time. Yeah, AW said I feel like Joanna didn't fight on the outside stick and move as much because her leg was getting attacked. Yeah, yeah. That leg kick started slowing her down. None of her past opponents attacked her leg the way Weili. Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like Weili got a good leg kick, yo. That leg kick gets her a lot of things she wants. That leg kick can get her the leg kick can get her a left hook. It can get her a straight right hand. Like Weili doesn't start off striking. She doesn't strike with her hands too much. She'll start with her leg kicks first because when she makes you stationary and she takes away your mobility, boom, that's when she's on you. When Weili starts with the kicks, yeah, she chops you down and then she'll go upstairs. Her reach is not that long. Like her reach wasn't that long against Joanna. So to get inside of Joanna's long jab and start doing damage and get in the pocket, she took away the legs. You got to chop them legs down. Who else she do that to? Uh, Tisha Torres is short, but she was chopping her leg away, to stop the speed. She would stop the speed by chopping them legs down. Oh man, and what's her name too? Danielle. Danielle, boy, she was chopping her leg, hard leg kicks too. So when Joanna started eating them leg kicks, boy, yeah, she became a target. And that's my question right there for y'all too. Like, can Rose take those leg kicks the way those hard exterior fighters can, like Joanna? Joanna, I know she got knocked out by Rose, but Joanna's built different. Like aside from the chin in the knockout and the style matchup, I'm talking about like Joanna's built different, man. Her body is strong as hell. She can take kicks, but can Rose take a kicks to the leg? Because Jessica Andrade, she did it. Jessica Andrade closed the distance and started landing body kicks on Rose. She started landing like nice kicks on the inside of the thigh there. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Still making my move here. When Joanna's leg swung out from under. Oh, hold on. Can't see that. When Joanna's leg swung out from under her when Weili kicked her, you missed that. Joanna's leg swung out. Like the second or third. I don't think did I miss that when I was doing the round by round. I thought I called that. We were doing the round by round on this fight Sunday. I thought I saw that. King of Squids. If you guys follow Weili's IG, yeah, I follow her IG. She posts videos of her training suplex. Yeah, yeah. I think she's keeping that in mind. I think she's keeping it in mind. I think she ain't gonna come right out the gate slamming her, but that might be added to her. That might be something she's adding to her arsenal. Man, I've been watching both of them's Instagrams and their training. Like I enjoy the like the fluidity of Rose and the way she throws her punches and her training in that aspect. And I enjoy Weili's training, man. Like I enjoy Weili the way she's training, for that conditioning, for that hard 5-round fight. I really enjoy watching Weili's, power that she's really been, working on. And her technical skills, throughout the past few fights, she's getting better. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Her body, where the leg kicks, body, she can take all kinds of hits because of that Muay Thai background. Yeah, still probably gotta say she's probably the strongest the strongest strawweight ever. One of the strongest strawweights up ever. Yeah. If Shevchenko versus Joanna was 10 rounds, Joanna would have took over and won. Shevchenko lost the round. If it was 10 rounds, 10 5-minute rounds or 10 3-minute rounds. I don't know about that. I think Valentina still would have won. I mean, it depends on the rounds too. The duration of the rounds. Lolita said JJ will always be a queen. Oh, I was saying that for DJC who said he missed Weili having effective leg kicks. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. Because we were doing a round by round. And I was like, bam, Weili was tearing the leg up, man. That's how she got her left hook in, and that's how she put that head on Swole, man. You know, those leg kicks was cracking. She was checking a lot of kicks. This is live. Yes, Lolita. This is live. This is live and in action right now. He says it's live. Yeah, it's live. All right. Valentina gasped when she couldn't get the finish, and Joanna's pressure started piling up. Huh. It's the same, man, because like Joanna's a 5-round fighter. She's a very well conditioned athlete, man. And I think that thing went long. I can't say, yeah, I can't really say. It was, yeah, it was like 10 3-minute rounds, like a boxing match. That's tough to say. I mean, 10 5-minute rounds. Damn, you're trying to kill somebody. That's a damn hour fight. It's a damn near hour fight. I don't know. I think whoever doesn't get exhausted, whoever doesn't get exhausted, that's who don't collapse. Whoever don't collapse, they'll probably be the winner. With Weili traumatized Rose with slams again. You never know, man. You never know. I mean, we all know it's safe to say the dog fight favors Weili. The clinch fight favors Weili, right? I think the ground game is I think the ground game, I want to say, I'll say 50-50. I'll say if the fight goes to the ground, it'll be 50-50. Where it kind of teeters toward Rose just a little bit. Just a little bit. And again, no, it's 50-50. It's just 50-50. The stand up at a range, that's gonna favor Rose. The stand up in the pocket, that's Weili. All right. Valentina is a 5-round fighter. Most fights go to distance. Yeah. Valentina is a 5-round fighter. Okay, that was you. Yeah. If Maya didn't choke mentally after round 2, she would have won. I don't know if it was the fact that she didn't choke. If she made adjustments, if she had the plan B and a plan C, she probably would have won. But she didn't have the timing to get Valentina down. She didn't have the timing, and she just didn't have the what do you call it, the right attack. You got to have that right attack. You got to be off beat with Valentina. The attack can't be the same. Juliana Pena brought the same attack to Valentina. Throughout first round and going into the second, it cost her because Valentina just quick made adjustment, boom, take her down, and that's it. Uh, how do you feel about DJ? How do you feel about? Oh, you say I do agree. Joanna's more dog. It's not really fair because Joanna has conditioned her body for 115. Yeah, I think she go to flyweight and be pretty comfortable there too. Less weight cuts. She'd be good to go. If Maya didn't eat that last ham sandwich, she would have beat Marcus. Mark, you crazy, man. Proper diet, man. It's all about proper diet before a fight, too, man. Yeah, yeah, man. But y'all, I'm gonna put this other video out. I'll give you the full-on video, quick video of my thoughts because I already had it up. I just ain't uploaded it on Rose. Much clearer. Like I said, I'm just on the move, and I just wanted to talk to y'all about it. But yeah, I think she was just wrong all around. Just she just kept her mouth shut. Just do the fight. So that's all you got to do. Hang on, y'all. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, all around, yeah, my final thoughts on that whole thing is, I think Rose just is overwhelmed right now, and she better find that balance. Rose got to find that balance and just say, look, this is a fight. It's me going in there. I need to just go in there and find out why I want to win. Don't try to make up different reasons. Okay, I got to do it because this person represents the enemy. I'd rather be dead than red at this point. It's not even like that. This is a fight. You're gonna walk away with a big check at the end of the day. You're gonna be touching M's after this fight. So don't try to make it like you some type of like you some type of soldier on the front line. I mean, we got real soldiers out there right now fighting. You know, you got soldiers dying every day or coming back with PTSD. Those are the real ones out there. So don't try to make it like it's that type of fight. Like this is that type of war. It's really not. I was saying I said on my live stream the other day when I talked a little bit about it, just a little bit. I was kind of like y'all trying to make this like the propaganda with World War II with Joe Louis and Max Melling. Max Melling was being pushed by Adolf Hitler, and on this side the Americans don't normally like Black Americans, but they really wanted Joe Louis to win the fight. You know what I mean? So they were just all putting pressure on these two fighters. But when it all came down to it, Joe Louis and Max Mellon became friends. They really didn't want to be part of that. They really didn't want to be part of that type of war. They were just trying to fight. They were just trying to make money. They just like boxing. So I don't know why they're trying to make this type of situation the same thing like back in that day, man. I mean, they were forcing it on them more so back then. You had no choice. You know, if Hitler was behind you, you were fighting for them. Um, for Joe Louis, shoot, you lucky, you lucky the white Americans were behind you then and not trying to lynch you. That's why I say, shoot, like I don't know why you want to try to put that type of situation together now when you know you making more money, you doing a lot better than these people nowadays. I mean, you know, from back in the day, it's just like I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. It all just comes down to a person just being hate to say it, man, mentally weak. You digging, you reaching. Heal of the mind body coach. What's going on? Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll be on here like another 15 minutes. What else about the fight? I mean, yeah, let's talk about what do y'all think about what do y'all think about Mackenzie Dern, you know, her fight last weekend. I talked a little bit about that on Sunday. What do y'all think about Mackenzie Dern at this point? Oh, is Mike Perry supporting Weili? Exactly. Exactly. I remember that. I remember all that. Yeah, yeah, Healy, you're right. We want to go really into it. You still get screwed. You know, you did this, you did your duty, you know, you did your duty, right? But you still got screwed and you still have to make ends meet at a very late age in your life. You know, Joe Louis had to start wrestling. He had to become a referee, you know. I don't think he was doing all this because he wanted to do it. He was doing all that to make ends meet at such an old age, you know. So yeah, you did this, you beat this man, first round knockout, and boom. Not you still owe us, man. You owe us. You still got us pay. You still got to pay us these taxes back. And that's what I'm saying with Rose. You think that you beating Wei Lee is going to put you give you some type of inaugural title as like, oh man, like I'm exempt from, you know, I'm this type of hero now, so I'm gonna get a type of reward. I'm gonna get a medal and a statue for beating Wei Lee. Nah, nah, it don't work like that. You gotta pay taxes from that fight check just like everybody else. I know I'm late. Oh, Ernest, what's going on? He said, I know I'm late and y'all are on another topic, but this Rose Whaley's going to be ugly. Jokers from South Georgia and North Florida are going to be fed into the bleachers with the anti-China stuff. Yeah, yeah, I brought that up earlier, man. I brought that up earlier, Ernest. I was talking about that. I said, yeah, like you say that a lot, there's going to be just as many people that agree with her that disagree with her. So, you know, they will be out there. So the ones that are mad at Rose, they'll be there, but the supporters will really be there, and they'll probably be the loudest, in my opinion. Two Beasts, what's going on? Two Beasts said a lot of potential. Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't TJ. He wasn't, but they were working. You see, they were working through him. They were working through him. That's why, like I said, at the end of the fight, at the end of their careers, they became friends because they were being, you know, they were just being puppets to this whole thing. Yeah, he wasn't. He was being used. Yeah, a lot of potential in Mackenzie Dern. Yeah, I see potential in her, man. Oh yeah, I know it's you. I know it's you, Healer. I know it's you. I know it's you, Focus Ball. Hold on, y'all. Okay, Dern was. Yeah, yeah, Dern looked good, man. I mean, Mackenzie Dern. You see her arms, Mackenzie Dern. Like, I don't know if she's ready for a top three opponent, I got a video coming out too, man. I got a who's next for. I got a who's next for Mackenzie Dern. I got her next three opponents lined up, in my opinion. Um, I don't think she's ready for like the Joanna fight and things like that, or a title fight. You know, maybe a couple of more fights just to get her right. But she's definitely looking better. She's definitely looking a lot better. Got to work on her. Got to work on keeping her head up whenever she throws that overhand right. Like you can't continue to throw an overhand right in that fashion, with your head down. Mackenzie Dern throws that overhand right with the head down. Well, Joanna will catch you and counter you all day if you do stuff like that with her. Can't close your eyes and do that. Your jab looks good, but that overhand right, no, she got to work on that. Nina didn't look too. I gotta go back and look at her body. I know she just looked off. Dern looks to have found her stride. She's not champ. Yeah, she's not champ caliber yet. No, definitely not. She's leveling up though. Yeah, yeah, man. You got to reconsider it a little bit, stamina, because I think right now I definitely see more growth and want to grow more than her than some of these flyweights. Like I see more growth in her. I see the want in Mackenzie Dern more so than like the other young fighters like in the flyweight division, like Andrea Lee, Montana, Jillian. Some of them don't show this type of result like she does. She's really showing results. Mackenzie Dern is really showing results. It's not just talk. It's not just talk or saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go back and get better. I'm gonna do this." It's improving every fight. I still think Vernon Jandaroba did enough to win that fight, but that other fight, but still, if Dern gets her wrestling on point, she's trouble for anyone. Yeah, when Mackenzie Dern gets her wrestling right, she will be a threat. She gonna be a big threat. When she starts to clean up the overhand right and clean up the rushes, like she's still running in there, but the jab is nice. The jab looks good. The jab looks good. When she starts to clean some of that up, yeah, she will be a threat. Who Dr. Money said, wonder if Dana has something to do with this. I wouldn't be surprised, man. I wouldn't be surprised. Because the fight negotiations didn't go the way they wanted in China and Singapore. So, you know, um, something about the Chinese government didn't okay the fight. They didn't want to have the fight, so they said, take it somewhere else because of COVID restrictions or whatever and other negotiations. The government was like, no, we don't want the fight here. Yeah, yeah, she looked good. Yeah, yep, that's all it takes. You know, he was German, so yeah, they put him in there as a Nazi. Okay. TJ says support Rose. A Rose win means thousands of people currently enslaved will be free. All right. Lolita said, will you be doing a fight companion for UFC 261? Oh man, I said I would, right? If I do one, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just do it for like part of the main card. I'm gonna do it for the championship fights. Excuse me. If I do one, I'm gonna do it for the championship fights. I'm gonna do it for Weili. I'm gonna do it for Weili Rose. I'm gonna do it for Valentina Jessica, and I'll do it for Usman Masvidal too. I guess. I mean, I didn't really want to see that fight, but if I do the fight companion, it will be for the two WMMA fights for sure. Dern picked Weili to win. Dern might be getting too overconfident in her hands, sounding like Ronda a little bit. Her hands look a little bit better than Ronda's. I will say that. Her hands, she looks good. Her hands definitely look good. Ronda's hands, whew, Ronda's hands don't look too good though. Ronda's hands never looked good. Let me put it that way, because the day she tried to go in there, they just didn't look good. But Dern's hers is a slow process. And I will say this too. Well, I said it before. Mackenzie Dern, her hands, she had natural power even before she started. Even before she started striking. Like if you go back to her early fights, like 2-3 years ago, she had power in both hands. Like the way she's knocked out ABC, that was even before she really had, a proper trainer that was teaching her how to throw punches the correct way. You know, uh, Nina really knew how to throw that. Not Nina, Mackenzie Dern knew how to throw with some type of assertiveness. She knew how to put some power behind her shot. So all she needed was somebody like Jason Perillo to clean her up. Jason Perillo's cleaning it up now. It's not perfect, but it's a work in progress. It's a nice work in progress with her. She's looking good. And yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to punch your way into a takedown. Like you don't want to exert yourself and try to take somebody down the first round, trying to use a lot of energy, trying to pick the person up or, maul them and clinch them in the first round. You just want to punch your way in and hurt them, then get the single leg and trip them and take them down. Hurt the person and take them down. Don't try to wrestle them fresh in the first round. That's how a lot of fighters get exhausted. You know, knock the person down. TJ said Dern gets stops in one of her next two fights. Depends on who it is. The people I picked for, I don't think will stop her though. If she takes the right fights that she needs to get ready for the championship fight, I don't see her getting stopped. But I don't think any. Let me see. Well, let me throw some names out. Marina Rodriguez, yes, she could stop her. Joanna, I don't see stopping her. Joanna's a point fighter. Joanna's not going to stop her. If it was Weili, yeah, Weili could stop her. Yan Xiaonan, I don't see stopping her. Carla, I don't see stopping her. Who else? That's about it. Marina Rodriguez is the only fighter I could really see stopping her. That's about it. Marina Rodriguez, because of her accuracy and the way she throws her punches, she's the only one I could see really stopping her. You know, that's just me though. All right, hold on. Yeah, nobody's ever gonna submit her stamina. I don't see anybody submitting her. Verna couldn't even. Well, Verna didn't take that approach. So if Kanako beats Verna, I want Dern versus Kanako with the quickness. That's a good fight. That would be a good fight. Yeah, Dern versus Marina Rodriguez. That'd be the fight where she gets stopped. But even then, I could see her winning if she gets it to the ground. All right. Keela said, check out a fighter in China. His channel name is Ramsey Dewey. He says the Chinese MMA scene is highly fixed. Oh man, you it's funny you bring that up, man, because I talked to a fighter personally and they told me some stuff, Keeler. And not just in China though. It wasn't really like just China. It was where was it? Thailand, Indonesia, some other places. But yeah, Healer. I've talked to somebody personally and they told me some crazy stuff, about how some of the fight game goes. So we think stuff can be corrupt over here, but man, I'm gonna just leave it at that for now. I mean, I could talk to you about it one day, but yeah, yeah, Mackenzie at number 5, man. Mackenzie at number 5. So they're kind of putting her in that situation. Nobody I want Mackenzie to fight is above her either. Like everybody, if she's at 5, everybody else that she needs to fight is below her. I ain't put her in there with nobody in my next video. DJC can Dern beat Andrade. Mm, I don't know about that. I don't know. Like it would have to it had to be like a fully developed Dern that's on another level. But like Mackenzie Dern right now is not beating Andrade. I'm sorry. I still got to go with Andrade. Andrade's been through too much to lose to somebody like Mackenzie Dern. Yeah, I think Weili would stop Dern like she did to Andrade. She comes in wild. Yep, yep. Verna versus Dern, that was a close. Yeah, I kind of lean towards Verna in that fight though. Yeah, it was close. That's why I say yeah, it could have went either way. I had my reasons why I gave it to Verna, but I wasn't mad at it, when it came down to it. Damn, they should have gave Marina a stand-up fighter. She's only been matched with ground fight. Yeah, that's why I want Marina versus Joanna. That's the only fight I want for Marina right now. I already did a video on that a while back. I said I want just Marina versus Joanna. Yeah, 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 DJ. Murder won that fight. I believe the MMA scene is reading a lot of places, but after seeing anything there. Yeah, I agree with you there, TJ. Like, yeah, it is rigged a lot of places, but from what Whaley went through, it's kind of hard to say that that was rigged. Yeah, I think some levels it is, but sometimes I got to give a person credit for that hard work in there, man. You know. But yeah, man, the stuff I've heard, yeah, though. Kim Marina beat Joanna. Kim Marina beat Joanna. She got, yeah. I did a video on it. I did a video on that. Yeah, I talked about it in the video. Good fight, but I mean possibility is there. She could do it, but the experience level is so high though with Joanna. If Joanna doesn't fight at the end of this summer or something like that, then she should probably be taken out of the rankings. That's why I say it's been a year and some change now. If Joanna don't come back by July or August, then she should be taken out of the rankings. All right, y'all. But yeah, I'm about to get up out of here. Good live stream, good talk. Like I said, just wanted to come back and give you my thoughts on that whole situation. Yeah, Rose as a fighter is impressive to watch, but definitely not rocking with what she said. When it comes down to it, definitely not rocking with what she said at all. Better fight for her. That's all I got to say on that. But yeah, guys, I got to get up out of here. Be on here a little longer than I wanted to be. Make sure y'all subscribe. Thanks everybody for coming through. New people that came through, make sure y'all subscribe. I'm out of here, y'all. Later.